Well, good morning to you and the viewers at home. You can expect President Ramaphosa to be at the Mxolisi Dickies Jacob Stadium at about 10 a.m., where he'll be engaging with community members regarding some of the issues that they have here in Upington, specifically service delivery issues. We were around the area of Dakota yesterday, where we identified issues of housing, water and sanitation. A key portfolio of human settlements, Minister Mmamoloko Kubayi, is here to join me to discuss further where they're going to be taking this area forward, as well as some of the issues that they have identified regarding service delivery. Thank you so much for joining us, Minister Kubayi. You've had some time to travel alongside Upington and see what some of the issues are in this area, as well as Northern Cape as a whole. What is the purpose of this Imbizo with respect to Upington and the Northern Cape province?
Look, the issue for us here, as we join both in terms of, because I'm the lead minister today, on behalf of Minister of Kokta, we will be firstly engaging communities, because the Imbizo is very critical for us. It's bringing government to the people, engaging, especially led by the president, but also allow ministers to answer directly to the people, to the communities, so that they can be able to explain how the plans in each department are happening. Similarly with human settlements, that's what is going to happen. What is prominent here in the province is that we've got a lot of plans. The province is vast in terms of land size, but limited in terms of number of population. So based on that, because of the what we call equitable share in terms of allocation of budget, they get minimum budget, for example, here in the province. Now, when they get that, they are not able to meet the demands. For example, this financial year, already now I'm sitting with quite a lot of resources almost completed, and the province is requesting additional funds, which we currently in the review based on the medium-term budget that will be tabled, and what we are looking in terms of allocation, where provinces will not be able to spend and will redirect here so that they can be able to spend. But in a long term, what we intend to do is to look at what we call front loading, as announced by Minister Godongwane, so that we can be able to meet the demands of the human settlements in the province. So that's what we are responding to. There are quite a number of people who are looking for service sites. There are quite a number of people who have various projects are across the country, across the province itself. In Pixley, we've got several projects there in mega projects that are going very well. Here we have sites where we are giving service sites in terms of the projects that we are doing. But also yesterday, the MEC, because I had to join the president as the lead minister in the power project, he was issuing title deeds in the communities. You know that that's one of our priority areas, to giving people title deeds, because we believe that that's an economic tool in the hands of the population. So we continue with that work in the province.
Speaking to residents on the ground, believing that this might be just a talk show by government, and what is your response to that?
It's not a talk show, because when you look back in terms of the provinces that we've gone, let's start with Mafikeng. We went to Mafikeng with the president. One of the issues that was raised with us was that the town is filthy. I don't know if any of you have gone back to Mafikeng, but just follow the Facebook page of the mayor of Mafikeng, and you see how the city, he prides himself now to say this is the city at night, this is the city during the day. It's clean. And those are the small things that changes as we get into. Because when we leave, we go back as minister. President leaves, we go back as the minister. In Free State, Minister Cele went back. There were issues of crime there. He's held a follow-up meeting in that particular community dealing with issues of crime. We've gone back. My DM was in Free State as well, going back to deal with the issues of human settlements in that area. So there is feedback in terms of and follow-up on the issues that have been raised in the Imbizo. There's follow-up in terms of the presidency, because they look at the issues that have been raised, because remember, in the Imbizo, they are also captured. There are people who are capturing and listening to us as we respond, where there are long-term things that are needed. Then they send to the department to give feedback on what have been done in those areas. So it's not a talk show. There is action, and we could provide, even based on some of the areas that we've been, as I'm making this, just simple examples of these are the issues that communities raised, and this is how they are responded. Equally here, we expect that when the president leaves, there will be issues that communities have raised. They will be followed up by both the province and ministers in the respective departments.
Let's look at the issues that also fall into your portfolio and also link with constitutional rights that are afforded to citizens in a constitutional democracy. Water, sanitation and housing, not a new issue. They mirror almost all the service delivery issues across the country. Why do you need to sit at a stadium and hear those cries when government knows what they need to provide for citizens? What is the purposes of going to a stadium if you know that water, sanitation and housing is needed by these citizens? Where's the political will to just implement?
No, we are implementing. The importance of going to a stadium and talking to people is because, for example, I always make an example when I do Imbizo to say that as much as there's so much needs, but there's limited resources and you can implement over time. It's like a household. Even if you can have a household, you're needing a furniture of the whole house. Based on your income in that house, you'll buy a furniture based on the needs. You'll either buy a fridge this month, the following month you buy a bed. It's not something that you can buy every time. And it's those basic explanations in terms of our plans to communities that matter. Because if we stay away and we don't explain these things, citizens will think that we don't know that they need these things, we don't care. And that's why it's important to go into these meetings and explain.
And lastly, just on ANC matters, what can you tell us about, as a woman standing for deputy presidency, what can you give us today?
Yeah, I was hoping that we'll focus on Imbizo and leave the ANC for some time. But look, the conference, we are looking forward to it as members of the ANC, but also as participants. And a person that has been asked to stand, yes, we're looking forward. And my view and my preference would be that at least let's have 50% of the women in leadership, both in terms of younger age, to infuse the energy in the leadership, but also not only just in the entire NEC, but also in the top 6 of the ANC.
All right, thank you so much. That was Minister Kubayi just giving us a bit of a preview ahead of the President's engagement with the residents of Upington here at 10 a.m.